The reason why I didn't want to talk to you without recording is because people are abusive just as you were. And he says that he's going to have the police take the evidence of the child abuse. What the police normally come do is bully me and enforce criminal activity because the government is enforcing that I stay in jeopardy. That the police don't want me to get protected, which is criminal.
Have you tried going to one of the local shelters, ma'am?
The government just enforces that they don't give me services. They haven't been for years. The scheme to deprive me of services keeping me in jeopardy. This is the biggest conspiracy to violate civil rights scheme that I've ever seen before COVID. And when I got caught, the government in their criminal activity, COVID happened. I've never seen the government violate someone's civil rights to this degree and get away with it for years, to the degree to where they can't even purchase water at a convenience store or coffee. I've never seen power abuse to that extreme, felony charges racking up that was ignored, and government officials refusing to keep me and my daughter safe. And when she witnessed my false arrest that day, refused, use intimidation tactics, assault, arrest, like I'm going to be bullied into not protecting my child, and then try to frame me for mental illness when they act like they're mentally insane.
Ma'am, are you aware that certain departments deal with...
Are you aware that covering up for criminal activity and depriving me of solutions to get out my situation, and for every location to blame it on another location and say that everywhere I go for years there's no possibility that for me to get out of this pit? No possibility on the planet for years, getting pushed and shoved and removed from 2 different locations trying to get protection order. Are you aware that for government officials to abuse power, tamper with evidence, and pretend like law enforcement is impossible is criminal? Your Homeland Security and pretending like law enforcement is impossible is criminal. You have responsibilities to get the right agency on the phone, or you commit a crime, as what you're doing, as well as a multitude of other parties. They haven't covered and enforced child abuse, like I said, ever since she witnessed my false arrest and screaming in terror, betrayed by the police department, witnessing her mom get arrested by profit, and with the thanks she gets is for the government to scheme for me to stay away from my child. I can't even talk to her, and you guys enforce it and cover up for the crimes that sabotaged my rights as a parent and did it with another child. That I was a legal custodial parent and you would not enforce the child custody abuse agreement, came and interrupted me having access to my son at school, gave me a criminal trespass to prevent me from having access to my son. You realized it was too risky to do it with my daughter. Then you concocted a scheme of some kind of abuse that the story that you can't get straight. CPS was caught in lies, so they were removed out of the situation. So then the government, the court, the family court committed crimes, because then they took my child custody rights away and didn't even have a valid CPS investigation. Then they wouldn't even give me an attorney. When they realized that those schemes were too incriminating, they blamed it on a judge I can't find. And everywhere I go covers for this insanity. Year after year, location, even go to shelters, having them deprive me of shelter in my crisis. I could not get shelter. I was forced to live in a tent because the government went behind me and had all these locations deprive me of services before COVID and got away with it. So I can't get help if the government abuses their power and go to location and tell them to deprive me of services, as they've been doing years. Depriving me of housing. Police came personally, even at hotel stays, at church too. It sounds like the government is out of control and they need their charges. The government should not enforce my family's abuse and pretend like it's this bottomless pit that for me to get law enforcement at every location I go, and deprive me of witness protection, and then have all these shelters deprive me of help to escape their abuse to the degree of sabotaging my mail and phone service. It sounds like the government has a mental illness. So now what they're trying to do is concoct a criminal trespass, like as they have been doing years, at every vital location, at domestic violence places, at CPS, at hotels, concoct them at restaurants. This happened before COVID. And if that wasn't working, putting me out and telling me not to come back for having a water bottle in my backpack. It seems like the government has a mental illness. At Austin Street, demanding that I not put on makeup and schemes. Then violated me on my bunk before it was time. I was the only one that had to leave early while I was putting on makeup. I don't know why the government acts like psychotic exes. assaulted and violated a domestic violence support group, now blacklisted from all domestic violence help, as well as all law enforcement. All CPS locations conspires with crimes and enforces them, all of them. So what's about to happen, they're about to give me a criminal trespass to enforce my abuse, like as they've done. As you see, these people are committing crimes. You cannot deprive someone of law enforcement. They have job responsibilities when they hear abuse to report it, but they're criminals and they cover for it, which is a crime that they have been getting away with it years. You witnessing what I already knew that they have been getting away with this years. The corruption is high. They openly commit crimes. I just wanted you guys to witness what I've been going through years. When I wrote the politicians and tried to get above the corruption, no one had rights with COVID. It's an amazing coincidence. This is the only one that he can get help with when I was talking about that. Out of all those people over there, that's the only one that can give him directions. You have to see it to believe it. If someone is hiring people like at the CPS, and then when I was at the Frank Crowley, the lady that interrupted there, if someone is hiring all this abuse to interrupt, you think maybe that party's getting tortured? Like at 7-Eleven, the man that interrupted and said, why don't you just take your you-know-what and get out? To hire someone and sit there and violate while someone's getting violated so they can get violated in a multitude of areas, that's pretty sadistic and sick, and for them to get away with it years is even sicker. So that man interrupted this conversation when it's all those people over there he could have spoke with. The only reason I had to be my own investigator because it kept happening. All that dark, people interrupting me reporting crimes. And then all parties leave to help the person interrupted my conversation, and then they get up and leave and help this other party while they were sabotaging my assistance. And I never got it. I was reporting abuse on dark. And then when I went to Akron to try to report it, I was arrested. And then deprived of my right to go to court and violated in jail. I didn't know if I was going to make it through alive with the government enforcing abuse, as they have been doing years, and depriving me of protection, which is criminal, as they are doing now. So they're calling, we're waiting on the corrupt police to give me a criminal trespass for fighting for my life, as they have done years. For using my daughter and my family as bait, saying they're going to take the report for child abuse, as they have done for years. And what they're doing is they're going to come bully and violate. Before I was recording, it would include assaults and arrests. So with your job responsibility and all the chaos you're hearing, you're covering for it? What are you going to do with your job responsibility? Both of you guys, you have responsibilities, and if you don't abide by them, it's crimes. We haven't got to resolutions on you abiding by the law. Homeland Security. I'm reporting it to you because they removed me for trying to get protection. You just witnessed them commit a crime, depriving me of witness protection. You witnessed that crime. I told you it was child abuse that representative covered for, and you're law enforcement and you're depriving me of the right to report crimes that you just witnessed? You witnessed them deprive me of witness protection. You just can't witness crimes and cover for them. Both of you guys know that they removed me with security for trying to get in witness protection. You have just witnessed crimes. You not doing anything with that report is criminal. And depriving me of the right to have witness protection, as I have been deprived of it for years, is criminal. So with you witnessing a crime and you have your badge on and you're at work, you have job responsibilities. You can't disregard that. It's a crime. So if you see that party's committing crimes, your responsibility is to help me get assisted in witness protection, since you just witnessed that a crime was committed when I tried to get it on my own, as it has been for years. We haven't got any solutions. In fact, none of the locations I've been to has not deprived me of any solutions. Therefore, I was forced to live in a tent, getting violated daily, while the government sat there and had set up accomplices and enforced it. Then committing crimes to keep me away from my family, terrorizing them to where they were afraid to be around me and help me, and got away with it for years. So they wouldn't help either. I don't know why you turn your back on such chaos as a multitude of other people have done for years. I thought this was crimes. felonies are racking up that keep getting ignored. Let's see what crimes they set up. We're waiting. I paid $20 for parking for all these government buildings to enforce criminal activity, intimidate me, violate me. It was a lot of people in when Joseph Baranek. I mean, it was a big scene. People were coming out, recording, but some kind of way I'm still in this chaos. Giving me tickets, criminal trespasses to keep me from being, they were out of control. Taking my backpack, public humiliation, forcing me to take off my shoes. My abuser knows that I'm funny with my shoes, having my shoes on. So they in jail to violate me. They forced me to be in jail with no shoes on. Is that even legal? And then I'm probably have diabetic tendencies because when I don't eat, I have gotten dizzy and fainted. They know that and abuse their power and deprive me of food and water to keep me from depriving me of access to food. Why I said that this was almost like attempted murder. Because if you abuse your power to prevent someone from purchasing water and food, wouldn't that person feel like that someone's trying to kill them? Abusing power to keep their, some days I couldn't eat because every location they set up to deprive me of food. Even water, going to try to fill a backpack, my water bottle at a church. Someone witnessed it and then they put me out for trying to have water at church. This is an insane. Is it just me or does the government act like they're mentally ill and have been getting away with this chaos for years? Is this just my problem or is this a threat to national security, as I said before COVID? I'm really confused. I'm confused at why every location I go to can't help, but they're the government for years. I'm not quite sure. What do you do here? What's your position?
So I'm a police officer with Homeland Security. The issue is that...
What does Homeland Security do?
Well, in this facility, we're responsible for security and the safety of all the visitors and employees for the facility. Okay, so if a party is feel endangered of their life, who do you call to assist them? Because I haven't been able to get assistance for years. It depends. Where did this happen?
Okay, so I've already went over that. Are you sure you're not trying to keep me from being protected as they have done for years?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you forgot everything I just told you?
Well, the thing is, I am not responsible for
okay, you are responsible because you're not being honest. You're not. That's a blatant lie. Because with your job responsibility, you have to report criminal activity and get the right law enforcement agency here. And if they are committing crimes and keeping me from its safety as they've done for years, that's criminal. And you have a responsibility to report it and not just cover for it. That's criminal. The local police has been covering up for years. I have been trying to report the local. That's why I'm here trying to report them. And y'all keep calling them out to enforce crimes, having them be the scapegoat for the government's criminal activity. The government, higher up government officials are committing these crimes and blaming it on guppy law enforcement, police, when it's higher up government officials enforcing that police commit crimes. DOJ probably called the police out to enforce crimes, as they have done for years. So making the police department take the fall for the government's crimes is not acceptable, when the government higher up officials is enforcing that the police commit these crimes. And then take the fall for their conspiracy crimes. Another interruption, another one. I'm giving people my YouTube channel, another interruption. KEYA, they have been doing this year. KEYANA Clark piece on YouTube. So he said he called the police to take the child abuse report?
I don't know.
Because if he's using my child as bait for the police to come in and violate me as they have done in the past, that's pretty sick. To use my child who I love as bait to come terrorize me and enforce the government's abuse to keep me away from her in criminal activity, and to the degree of enforcing that I don't even get the supervised visits that were derived out of criminal activity 2 hours a week, to enforce that I don't even get that. Put in a fraudulent court document, deny me access by phone, text, and all of that. The government has clearly lost its mind and has lost their mind for years. So I pay a phone bill for my daughter, and I'm deprived of access and contact that the government enforces out of criminal activity and can't get their story straight. How did a court take my civil rights away as being a parent with no CPS investigation and would not even give me a court-appointed attorney because no one would take that case with a 10-foot pole? So force me to represent myself. When child custody rights are at stake, they're supposed to assign me an attorney, which they would not because they were so corrupt. No one would take the case. It was obvious corruption, extreme corruption, and mental illness behind it. So to keep it, because no one would take that case, they just forced me to represent myself to enforce criminal activity, a whole family court, and have been getting away with it for years, and enforce child abuse. So they're using for my daughter as bait, saying that they'll take the report, but they're going to come bully and violate, as they have done for years. So you're a police with Homeland Security. So what's your job responsibility?
To enforce rules and regulations
of this government?
of the federal government.
But you're denying to do that today.
I'm sorry?
But you're refusing to do that today, your job task.
You're warning WITSEC, ma'am. We don't do WITSEC.
What can you do? Because the government is you abusing power to violate me and keep me from protection.
What you're supposed to do, you report it to the Department of Justice.
What is your task? Your task, because you just witnessed the Department of Justice commit a crime.
They did what you asked. They took a report.
They called security to prevent me from getting witness protection.
Talk to them. The intern took your report. She's given it over to a lawyer, and they're going to move forward from there.
Okay, but she deprived me of witness protection as they have done for years.
Again,
The government shouldn't enforce that I stay in jeopardy.
Justice is the only one that can.
You just witnessed her commit a crime and deprive me of getting in witness protection as they have done for years, forcing me to stay out in a tent day and terrified for my life.
I don't.
Because the government abused power to have every location deprive me of housing, which is criminal, and trying to get me back in that situation, which is why I'm here.
I don't deal with
They kept going up to my job, enticing my job to terrorize, violate, and fire me in schemes so they can have more control and violate even further like they did in the past. The government has no right to abuse power and entice someone's job to bully them and violate them and terrorize them on a whim and then fire them when they get caught in their criminal activity. Okay, are you depriving me of your job responsibility because you have a responsibility that you're disregarding or you commit a crime? What are you going to do? You saw that we witnessed them commit a crime.
I don't deal with WITSEC.
What can you help with because you just witnessed them commit a crime? Why won't you report it?
You just reported it to the Department of Justice.
I'm reporting a crime to you. The Department of Justice just committed a crime. Why would you not take that evidence, which is criminal? Tamper with evidence is a felony, and that's what you're doing. This is a crime.
Took your statement, ma'am.
I'm reporting it to you.
And all I'm going to do is go.
You're committing a crime. You can't. With your position, you just can't say I'm not taking a report. That's a felony.
I didn't say I wasn't.
Okay, well, I'm telling you to.
Out there and talk to
I'm telling you to, and you're committing a felony crime by depriving me of the right to a report, tampering with evidence. You're committing a crime right now. You just witnessed the DOJ commit a crime and depriving me of that report, and that's your job responsibility, as well as a multitude of other government officials has done. I tried to report you guys to the FBI, but they conspired with the crime. Why won't you do your job task and report the crime? Because it is criminal for you not to. If you witness and you're fully aware that the DOJ is refusing to give me in witness protection out of corruption, you have a responsibility to report it and give me in witness protection, which you won't. And lying to cover for your crimes is still criminal. I'm not quite sure why you won't do your job task. You're committing crimes by not doing so. Why won't you report the crime you just witnessed? I don't understand why these felonies keep racking up. Why do you guys risk felonies? Do you believe that no one will hold you accountable as they haven't for years? You just witnessed the DOJ committed a crime and is depriving me of witness protection as they have done for years, and you will not do anything regarding it.
There are steps that they said they have to take.
Why won't they treat me like all citizens? Because they haven't taken those steps for years. Forcing me to live outside in a tent, getting terrorized, going up to locations personally, removing me for trying to get assistance to get out of your abuse. Personally, even at hotel stays. Terrorizing me at hotel, nothing has had happen. I was just in the room, police came, terrorized me. So I got to the point to where I wouldn't even open the door because nothing happened. They just terrorized me routinely. So I said, I'm just not opening the door this time. I'm tired of it. So they threatened to break the door down. No crime was committed. They were just terrorizing me. Getting away with it for years. I couldn't even stay at hotel rooms or shelters Then in a tent, they schemed to remove me from tents. Yeah, then terrified for my life on a park bench, they schemed to remove me from benches. You guys have been getting away with torturing me for years. I want it to end. I don't want to be forced into a tent again and be forced into your abuse as you have done, terrorizing to my family until they won't have anything to do with me. Hitting my son with a car, then trying to cover for it when you came. As you're doing right now, which is a crime. You did take the information and you put it right there. That's a felony crime. You're committing a crime. I'm giving you evidence. That's criminal that you won't take it. He is to go Homeland Security over this building. Your responsibility is Homeland Security in general. So you just tamper with evidence, blaming it on him. But you're committing the crime. Ted, you just have committed a felony as well as every location I go to. Right there. He's refusing to take it to cover up for it, and that's a felony crime that they've been getting away with for years. With this job responsibility, there's requirements for your duty, and the government will not abide by the law every location I go to. So how long do you guys think you're going to keep getting away with these felonies? Years of violating me, depriving me of law enforcement, terrorizing me every step I take, to the point of depriving me even the purchase of water and food. Before COVID. So you guys don't realize causing someone, waiting till someone come to enforce your criminal activity, it still makes you conspirators in the crime? Deflecting and not doing your job responsibility to call someone out to enforce the job task that you're not doing your duty. So enforce that you continue not to do your duty. You have someone call someone out to enforce your crimes. You sit here and tamper with evidence and refuse to investigate, refuse to take evidence, which is criminal. When you get caught in your crimes, you call someone out to bully me and enforce the crime that you're already committing, which has been done for years. So you sit here, law enforcement, as well as every law enforcement I come in contact with, try to make me believe that there's no way on this planet that I can get law enforcement, as I haven't, still dealing with law enforcement. Law enforcement schemes and tries to make me believe that there's some kind of bottomless pit to getting law enforcement, which it has for me, because it's not being done, which is criminal. So since he's getting caught in his crimes, he's calling Dallas out, use my daughter as bait, that they will take the child abuse reports that they have enforced for years, use that as bait, have me sit here to have bullies come out and violate and give me a criminal trespass as they have done for years. My YouTube channel is Kiana Clark, K-E. I want to give her my YouTube channel. Why would you prevent me from, you won't take it? Hear me, No, you're tampering with evidence. You won't take the report.
Back up, man.
You won't, hear me.
Back up,
you have no right to, I'm a free
man.
Citizen. Don't try to intimidate me for giving my YouTube channel out. You're committing a crime right now.
I need you to leave now.
Okay. No, I have a right to.
I need you to leave
I'm waiting. No.
Okay.
You have no right to keep me from giving out my channel. You're committing a crime. Don't try to intimidate me for trying to be safe.
What's going to happen when Dallas
you have no right
to give you a trespass.
You have no right to try to bully me for giving me my number out for abuse that you're covering up for. You're committing a felony right now. I'm a free citizen. If I want to give someone my YouTube channel, you have no right to bogart me and violate me and give me a criminal trespass for giving someone my channel. That's it.
Ma'am, you no longer have business.
No, you don't have the right to deprive me of giving my channel out for crimes that you're covering up for. That's a criminal act. That's criminal. You have no right to try to control me and prevent me from getting law enforcement and justice that you deprive me of. You can't give me a criminal trespass for trying to give someone my YouTube channel. You're committing a crime. My life is in jeopardy, and you have been enforcing abuse for years and depriving me of law enforcement. You can't continue to control me and violate me like that. I have a right to give a random person my YouTube channel without law enforcement enforcing my abuse. It's criminal. You can't give me a criminal trespass for trying to give someone my YouTube channel that you refuse to take. It's criminal, and you're violating my rights as you have done for years. If I want to give my YouTube channel to a random person, you cannot criminal trespass me for doing so.
She didn't want it.
Okay, well, when she said she didn't want it, then I stepped back, and then you tried to bogart it and prevent me from giving it to her, which is criminal. You won't take it. The government enforces me to stay in abuse. You have no right to criminal trespass me and control me for trying to give someone my channel. Are you out of your mind?
She didn't want it.
When she said she didn't want it, I stepped back, but he tried to get in the way and prevent me from giving her my channel, which are violating my rights. You have no right to give me a criminal trespass for trying to give someone the channel that you would not take. You scheming these criminal trespasses over and over is a crime. All I want to do is in witness protection, and you concoct every kind of crime that you can and act like you're mentally ill to prevent me from being protected.
Again, it goes to the Department of Justice.
You just lied and tried to give me a criminal trespass for giving this lady my address that you won't take, YouTube channel. And use that in a scheme to give me a criminal trespass so I won't get the help that you was already depriving me of. So now they're scheming a criminal trespass because they just set it up. They concoct mentally insane tactics to enforce abuse. So now I'm getting a criminal trespass for trying to give a lady my YouTube channel. That's a crime now. And then they're blaming it on me recordings, yet and still their felonies are racking up. They some kind of way are disregarding that my son got hit with a car. They're disregarding that my phone's hacked. They're disregarding that the interference with child custody crimes. All this chaos they're disregarding, but they're calling the police on me to criminal trespass me for giving a civilian my YouTube channel. That's a crime. But they have done even stranger things before COVID. So let's see what schemes they have up now. Now they have forgotten about the witness protection. Now I've broken the law by giving somebody my YouTube channel, the one that they wouldn't take, which is felonies that they're committing and have been doing so years. So now the police are going to come bully me. They have an excuse for bullying me. I committed a crime by giving someone my YouTube channel, trying to give it. Then they tried to bogart me and intimidate me, like I don't have a free right. They put me out for putting on makeup. They've been terrorizing me for years. I got put out for putting water in a water bottle. I have been deprived of the right to purchase food and purchase water. They have been getting out with these schemes years. Tried to cover up for my son getting hit with a car bleeding. Well, these are extreme events that you guys keep getting away with. Can't believe that you've gotten away with such insanity and trying to give me a criminal trespass for trying to get my channel out, the one you wouldn't take, which is a felony.
She didn't want it.
When she said she didn't want it, there's camera footage they can review. He tried to bogart me from giving her the YouTube channel. Then when I said I have a right, you can't control me like that. That's abusing your power. I have a right to give people my YouTube channel exposing your abuse. For him to try to bogart and intimidate me and prevent me from giving her my channel, the only source that I can show how you guys have been terrorizing me for years and my family getting away with it, you have no right to control me and prevent me from giving out my YouTube channel and give me a criminal trespass for doing so. And then like they did at the Attorney General for me trying to report you guys' corruption to the extreme of stealing child support payments. Criminal trespass, to try to scheme to criminal trespass me from there. I still can't report it. How do you get so corrupt to where you steal a parent's child support payment and get away with it? Then the corrupt job was taking my funds for child support out of criminal activity when there was a arrearage. Then tried to lie and say that I was like 30 grand was abated, but you guys won't do the investigation. How does the government get away with embezzlement and forging and defrauding parents out of money for years and get away with it, along with the interference with child custody crimes and child abuse? So now they're scamming to keep me in jeopardy that now I'm getting a criminal trespass for trying to give someone my YouTube channel. Like I was violated for trying to have a water bottle. They've been breaking the law even. How did the police come? Just for me begging for my life on my phone and assault me and violate me and haul me off and take me to jail. If they're abusing power, this is nothing. I want you to see the level of power that is abused. I'm getting a criminal trespass for trying to give someone my YouTube channel. That's the crime he's committing, to keep me, jeopardize my witness protection. Sir, why are you giving me a criminal trespass for trying to give out my channel? Isn't that a crime? Wouldn't that make you a conspirator? Aren't you committing a crime? I have civil rights. If I like to get my YouTube channel out to expose your corruption, you have no right to try to give me a criminal trespass for exposing your crimes. Some kind of way, you guys act like psychotic abusers and gaslighters. You have ignored the extreme amount of reports I've made and want to criminal trespass me for giving out my YouTube channel. That's not a crime, but I've reported dozens of federal and other crimes. That's some kind of way you're ignoring, which is a felony. But what you want to hone on is me giving my YouTube channel out and give me a criminal trespass for doing that, which is criminal. Because giving a YouTube channel out is not like the crimes that are currently being committed right now. Depriving me of witness protection, as you have done years, is crimes. My tablet keeps shutting off. You deprive me of investigation for that too. Now, who do I report you to for committing a felony crime of depriving me of law enforcement and covering up for crimes, and then wanted to use the fact that I tried to give someone my YouTube channel as a reason to put me out and give me a criminal trespass, so I can't report any more criminal activity as they have done for years? Who do I report you to? Because you're committing a crime. You can get charges for what you're doing. For you guys to scheme and give me a criminal trespass for giving someone my YouTube channel, violate my rights as you've done for years. You have no right to keep me in jeopardy, as you have done so years. Hacking someone's phone, enforcing that they speak with scammers that violate them, mistreat them, rob them, and get away with it years. Had put other customers at risk by enforcing that I'm on a counterfeit network, speaking with scammers, deprive me of mail, which is another felony. So the woman eventually, after he bogarted her and, tried to enforce that I not give her my number,